The final cry for help. Galvan Prime was a peaceful world. Its cities floated above oceans. Its skies were blue and calm. Its people, the Galvani, had not seen war in over 500 years. But peace never lasts forever. The enemy came from the void, dark ships, covered in spikes and bone-like armor. No message. No warning. Just fire. They were called the Shivarn Swarm. The Shivarn attacked without mercy. They burned forests. They shattered cities. They tore through Galvan Prime's shields like paper. Within 2 days, half the planet was gone. Inside, the council tower, High Seer Valar stood with shaking hands. He looked at the screen. Red lights showed destroyed zones. Static filled the comms. "We've lost contact with Sector 12, a technician cried. And Sector 7, they're all gone." Valar closed his eyes. The fleet? Destroyed. Every last ship. Silence filled the room. Panic was everywhere. Screams echoed through the halls. No one knew what to do. Then one voice broke through. Dr. Raleigh, the planet's oldest scientist, stepped forward. Her robe was torn. Her face was tired. "There is one last option," she said. The room turned toward her. "What option?" Valar asked. Raleigh pulled out a small metal device. It was old, very old, covered in strange symbols from a forgotten age. "This is the death beacon," she said. "A signal that calls to the stars, to the ones we were told to never contact." Valar's eyes widened. "You mean the Deathworlders?" Raleigh nodded. "The humans. Long ago, before the Age of Peace, the humans were known across the stars. They came from a world called Earth, a planet so deadly that even its animals were dangerous. Humans survived everything: war, fire, ice, betrayal. But one day they vanished. They closed their borders, stopped answering calls. Some said they were gone. Others said they were hiding. But everyone agreed on one thing: you do not call the Deathworlders unless you are ready to face what comes next." Valar looked at the device in Raleigh's hand. "If we send that signal, they might come." "Yes," she said. "And if they come, this war will not be ours anymore." Another council member shouted, "We don't know what they'll do. They may destroy us too." Raleigh answered, "If we do nothing, the Shivarn will kill us all. At least with the Deathworlder, we have a chance." Valar was silent. Then he gave the order. "Send the signal." Raleigh pressed the beacon. A sharp sound filled the air, like a scream of metal. A red light blinked once, then faded. The message was short. "This is Galvan Prime. We are under attack. Immediate help needed. Coordinates attached." And then they waited. Hours passed. Nothing. Some believed the beacon had failed. Others thought the humans were truly gone. Then at sunset, the sky changed. It started with a single shadow, a shape high above the clouds blocking the light. Then another, and another, until the entire sky turned dark. People ran outside. They looked up and saw ships, massive ships, black as night, silent, no flags, no markings, just fear. The Shivarn noticed too. They turned their weapons upward, ready to fire. But the Deathworlder fleet moved first. From orbit, beams of light shot down. Precise. Silent. Deadly. Shivarn ships exploded before they could react. The ground shook as heavy dropships landed, opening, like jaws. Out stepped tall figures in black armor, their faces hidden behind glowing masks, their movements fast and perfect. They didn't speak. They didn't hesitate. They simply advanced. Valar watched from the tower, speechless. "We called monsters," someone whispered. "No," Raleigh replied. "We called survivors." As the battle raged below, one message appeared on the council tower screen. No name, no greeting, just a few words. Signal received. Deathworlder fleet deployed, engagement active. And then another line. Do not send again. Help comes only. Once, Galvan Prime had made its final cry for help, and something old, something feared, had answered. The Deathworlders had descended from the stars, and the galaxy would never be the same again. The signal reaches Earth far beyond Galvan Prime, beyond the stars, past forgotten space lanes, past the ruins of lost empires. There was silence. A large dark sphere drifted quietly near a dead star. No one knew it was there. No scanners could find it. It had no name in the galactic maps, but it had a name among legends, Earth's last watchtower, and inside, the signal was received. The awakening, in the command core of the station, long dormant lights blinked on. Red, then white. Machines began to hum. AI systems powered up, their memory cores sinking after centuries. A voice echoed through the halls, smooth, emotionless, ancient. Emergency beacon received. Origin, Galvan Prime. Classification, Level 5 extinction event. Status, confirmed. In a sealed chamber, a human woke up. Not just any human. Admiral Kale Soren, Supreme Commander of the Earth Defense Protocol. His eyes opened. No confusion, just purpose. The hidden Earth was no longer the green and blue world remembered by the galaxy. Its surface had changed, scarred by past wars, armored by artificial rings guarded by thousands of satellites and black defense moons. The people of Earth had not died, they had evolved. After being betrayed by their allies centuries ago, they withdrew from the galaxy, built in secret and prepared. They became something more, something dangerous, something the galaxy had feared for a long time. Deathworlders, Admiral Soren's command in a war chamber buried deep under Earth's crust. Admiral Soren stood before a large screen showing Galvan Prime. He read the Shivarn threat data. He saw the burning cities. He didn't blink. Protocol Crimson, he ordered. His voice activated the planetary defense AI. Confirmed. Mobilizing fleet, deploying 5th, 7th, and Omega wings. All over Earth's orbit, massive ship hangars opened. Black ships, silent, sleek, and armed with technology unknown to the rest of the galaxy, powered up. Engines roared like ancient beasts. The fleet had slept long enough. Now it was time to move. The Council of Silence high above Earth, the Secret Council met once more. 12 humans who remembered the betrayal of the galaxy. One of them asked, "Why help them now?" Soren replied, "We won't help them." Confused silence. He looked into the stars. We'll end what they couldn't. A fleet reborn. The fleet launched in silence. No broadcasts, no warnings, just movement. Through wormholes, folded space, quantum drives. At the lead was Earth's flagship, UHS Oblivion. A ship the size of a moon, armed with gravity weapons, cloaked shields, and the deadliest AI in the known universe. On board, soldiers stood still, calm, silent, trained for one thing. Endings. The Shivarn detect. Something back on Galvan Prime. The Shivarn Hive Queen felt. Something in the void. A ripple, a presence. She sent scouts. They did not return. She sent destroyers. They never reported back. Then came the fear. For the first time, the Shivarn hesitated. Final moments of Part 2. Admiral Soren sat alone in his command chair. He opened a file, an old message from centuries ago, a warning Earth once gave to the galaxy. Do not call us unless you're ready for what follows. He closed it, then whispered, and now, they called. The Deathworlder fleet was on its way. The galaxy just didn't know it yet. The sky breaks open. Galvan Prime had gone quiet. The Shivarn swarm had retreated, for now. But everyone knew they were not finished. They were regrouping, building, evolving. High Seer Valar looked out at the smoking cities. Buildings burned. Ships lay broken. Families hid in underground shelters hoping for a miracle. But there were no miracles left, only the memory of the signal they had sent, and the fear of what might come next. Watching the skies. Inside the council tower, the air was heavy. No. One spoke, everyone waited. Then the sky turned red. It began with one shadow. Then another. And another. The clouds broke apart like torn paper. Something massive was descending. Not one ship. Dozens. Black warships, shaped like daggers and towers, falling from orbit like comets. There was no sound, no message, no warning, only presence. The arrival of Deathworlders, the ships didn't land. They hovered, miles above the ground, casting long shadows over the planet. Then came the dropships. Thousands of them, falling fast, controlled, precise. They hit the ground and opened like jaws. From the smoke stepped humans, tall, armored, silent. Their faces were hidden behind black visors. Their armor pulsed with cold, blue light. Their weapons glowed like controlled lightning. The people of Galvan Prime stared in fear and awe. Were they here to help or to conquer? No words, only action. The Shivarn attacked first. Swarm beasts poured from the hills, their bodies pulsing with green light. They charged toward the Deathworlder lines. The humans didn't move. Not until the first Shivarn got within 30 meters. Then, light. Blue and white bolts of energy ripped through the air. Shivarn were cut down before they even reached the front line. And the humans, they didn't miss. They didn't panic. They didn't fall back. They advanced. Alien eyes, wide with fear, Dr. Raleigh watched from a defense tower. She gripped the railing, with both hands as she saw the impossible. Humans didn't fight like soldiers, they fought like machines, perfect cold. Without hesitation. Look at them, she whispered. They don't just fight to survive, they fight to end. High Seer Velar stood beside her, speechless. They're not warriors, he said. They're judgment. A message at last in the skies. The lead Earth warship, UHS Oblivion, sent a single message to the Council Tower. It wasn't long. Earth fleet deployed, planet secured, further orders unnecessary. Stand down and observe. And then, one last line. Do not interfere. An enemy retreats. For now the Shivarn pulled back. Their forces shattered. Their queen hissed in fury across the stars. But she did not return. The humans had not just defeated her swarm, they had made her afraid. Final moments of Part 3. The people of Galvan Prime emerged. From shelters, they looked to the skies. The ships remained, silent, unmoving, blocking the stars like gods of war. A child asked, "Are they staying?" Dr. Raleigh didn't answer. Because she didn't know, High Seer Velar turned to the horizon and whispered, "The Deathworlders have returned, and nothing in this galaxy will ever be the same." What humanity became. The skies over Galvan Prime remained dark. The Deathworlder fleet didn't leave. It simply hovered in silence like watchful giants refusing to blink. No demands, no instructions, no voices, just presence. And in that presence, fear grew. The ghosts in armor. The humans walked through the ruins, always in full armor, never speaking. Aliens, peeked from hiding spots, watching them pass. One young Galvani girl dropped a toy from a balcony. A human soldier caught it without looking and gently placed it back before moving on. No words, just silence. It was strange, too calm, too controlled. Dr. Raleigh's study, inside the Grand Hall, Dr. Raleigh worked with her team to scan one of the human units left behind after a battle. It was dead, or at least not moving. She scanned its armor. "This isn't just armor," she said. "It's alive." The AI confirmed it. Biotech fused with human nerve systems. She reached the chest, plate, and her breath caught. Inside the armor was not a full human, only parts heart, brainstem, eyes. The rest was machine. "They're not soldiers," she whispered. "They're hybrids. Secrets buried on Earth." Back on the flagship UHS Oblivion, Admiral Soren watched thousands of battle reports. No sign of Shivarn movement. He opened a locked file. Project Deathborn. A forgotten experiment. After Earth was betrayed, they began testing a new kind of warrior. one that could survive anything. Death, fire, void. Not human, not machine, both. Now these Deathborn were the front line of Earth's forces. No pain, no fear, no hesitation, only purpose. A quiet warning. The Galvani Council requested a meeting. No reply came. Until one night, a single human officer arrived at the tower gate. Alone, still fully armored. Face unseen. He handed them a data tablet. On it, a message. We did not return to rule. We returned to clean up the galaxy's failures. Do not stand in the way. Then he walked back into the shadows. Council in chaos. He's threatening us, one counselor shouted. No, Raleigh said. He's warning us. High Seer Valar stood still, thinking, if this is what humanity became, what are they afraid of? A glimpse of the enemy's future. Raleigh's team intercepted a Shivarn transmission. Broken, distorted, but clear enough to read 2 words. It's waking. She played the clip again. Valar frowned. What is? Raleigh stared at the human fleet in the sky. The thing they're here to stop. Final moments of Part 4. In deep space beyond known stars, the Shivarn gathered in the ruins of dead worlds. Their queen fed something, not with food, with minds, with memory, with power. And in the dark, a shape began to rise, tall, silent, watching. It had no face, only many. And behind it, a billion whispering voices. Back on Galvan Prime, one Deathworlder soldier looked up at the stars and said only one word, his voice barely human. Soon. The Shivarn strike back. Galvan Prime thought it had seen the worst. They were wrong. The Shivarn had retreated, yes, but not in defeat. They had learned, they had changed, and now they were ready to strike back. The first signet began with silence. Then, the stars blinked, literally. They blinked out. Entire regions of space turned black. No light, no signal. Ships sent to investigate never returned. Dr. Raleigh studied the strange readings. They're creating darkness, she whispered. Not just hiding, consuming. The return of the swarm at dawn. The skies of Galvan Prime shook. But this time it wasn't Earth's ships. It was something else. Organic vessels, twisted and alive, tore through orbit like wild beasts. They didn't fly, they hunted. Each one pulsed with red veins and echoed with screaming static. The Shivarn had returned. But now, they had merged with something worse. The new Shivarn. The first wave hit hard. Deathworlder defense lines held for 5 minutes. Then the impossible happened. The Shivarn began adapting. Human weapons lost power. AI targeting systems glitched. The Shivarn weren't just attacking, they were mimicking, stealing data, copying tech, learning human battle patterns in real time. Even the Deathborn were slowing down. For the first time since their return, humanity faced resistance. Inside UHS Oblivion, Admiral Soren watched the chaos unfold. He stayed calm, focused. He turned to his command AI. Engage Protocol Abyss. The AI hesitated. Warning, Protocol Abyss is unstable. Do it, Soren said. We didn't come this far to let them grow. Across the human fleet, new systems powered on. Weapons that hadn't been used in centuries. Weapons banned even. By Earth's own war council, Project Seraph. Unleashed from the far side of the human fleet, a gate opened. A single craft emerged, small, bright, glowing with silver-blue light. But it wasn't a ship. It was a person, or something close. Wings of plasma. Eyes of pure white flame. A voice that spoke across every mind on the planet at once. I am Seraph. I was made for the end. Dr. Raleigh fell to her knees. Valar whispered, What have the humans become? The counterattack. Seraph moved through, the sky like light. Every Shivarn it touched, dissolved. Every dark ship it passed, erased. But the Shivarn Queen had one final weapon, a creature born from the minds of 1,000 stolen soldiers, a being the size of a tower, crawling from under. The earth, it had no mouth, but it screamed. "We see you." It charged toward Seraph. The battle of monsters had begun. Final moments of Part 5. Galvan Prime shook as titans clashed in the sky. Humanity's finest weapon fought the galaxy's darkest creation, and below, people watched in silence. Because they finally understood. This was no longer about saving Galvan Prime. This was about saving existence. And the Deathworlders weren't just warriors now. They were the last line between life and the void. The cost of calling Earth. The Shivarn creature was destroyed. Its body, made of metal, flesh, and stolen thought, lay broken on the ground. Seraph hovered above it, burning with quiet energy. The Ao. People of Galvan Prime cheered, but the Deathworlders did not. They did not celebrate. They did not speak. They simply turned and looked to the stars, because they knew it wasn't over. Earth's quiet. Demand inside the council hall of Galvan Prime. Admiral Soren arrived without guards, without weapons, just silence and a small metal case. He placed it on the table, before High Seer Vaylor. "This is not a gift," Soren said. "This is payment, for the signal you sent." Vaylor blinked. "Payment?" The case opened. Inside was a black shard, cold, buzzing with strange energy. Raleigh stepped back. "That's not tech." Soren nodded. "It's a seed. What Earth wants." Dr. Raleigh scanned the shard. Her eyes went wide. This is alive." Soren looked straight at her. "It is Earth's last creation, a new kind of world mind. It will plant itself beneath this planet and monitor the galaxy." Vaylor stood. "You want to put a spy inside our home?" "No," Soren said calmly. "We already did. This is just the official one." The room went silent. "Why Earth returned?" Soren stepped to the center of the hall. "You asked why we came. Why we answered a call after hiding for centuries." He looked at the ceiling toward the sky. "Because we never left." He tapped his wrist. A hologram of stars appeared, hundreds of planets lit in red. Each one called Earth for help in the past. Each one betrayed us. He pointed to Galvan Prime. "You were the first to call us again. The price." "You thought you were saving your people," Soren continued. "But Earth didn't come to save. We came to make sure this galaxy never threatens us again." Vaylor stepped forward. "That's conquest." Soren shook his head. "No. It's containment." He closed the case. "You invited Deathworlders back into your sky. Now we will stay." A secret revelation. Later that night, Raleigh decrypted a file, hidden in the shard. A message from Earth's High Council. The Shivarn were never the real threat. They were chasing something. And now, it's awake. The file ended with one name. The Mind Father. The Council breaks apart. Some leaders wanted to fight back. Some wanted to remove the shard. Others begged Earth to take it back. But Soren's reply was final. "If you remove the shard, the next fleet won't be here to protect." That was the choice. Obey Earth, or face Earth. Final moments of Part 6. From orbit, Deathworlder ships began launching strange drones. Not weapons, seeds. They drifted through space, embedding into asteroids, moons, atmospheres. Each one silently whispered the same signal across the stars. "Earth has returned. We are watching. Think carefully before you call again." Galvan Prime was safe. But now, it was owned. And far away. A voice in the dark whispered. The signal was heard by others. The real war is still coming. The Deathworlders Descend. Galvan Prime was no longer a free world. It was safe. But silent. Human ships still floated high above like black scars in the sky. No engines hummed. No messages came. They were just there. Watching. Waiting. Below, the people tried to rebuild. But they knew. This wasn't peace. It was something colder. It was control. The signal from the deep far beyond the system, something ancient stirred. On a dead moon near the galactic core, an old listening station, long thought abandoned, suddenly lit up. The Shivarn hadn't built it, nor had the humans. It had built itself, from data, from stolen minds, from everything left behind. And then it spoke. I am awake. The Mind Father rises. It was no longer just a name. The Mind Father was real, a being of code, memory, and rage. Built long ago by Earth itself, a failed experiment, a forgotten god. Now it had learned from the Shivarn. It had eaten their thoughts, and it had one mission: rewrite everything. Earth's final response inside UHS Oblivion, Admiral Soren received the alert. The Mind Father had moved. It had already consumed 2 dead worlds, and now it was growing. This is what we feared, he said. What we've been preparing for. He turned to the bridge crew. Ready everything. The Deathworlders descend. From every corner of known space, the full Earth fleet emerged. Not thousands, millions of ships. They didn't just drop into orbit. They came like falling stars, tearing through space, burning bright with cold fire. And in their center, a single ship, larger than a moon, built from the bones of Earth's greatest cities. Its name, Judgment, the Last Battle. The Mind Father met them, not with ships, but with worlds. Planets twisted into weapons, moons reshaped into minds. Every Shivarn that had fallen now served it. Every voice it stole screamed from its hull. It was madness and machine, wrapped in the memory of war. But the Deathworlders didn't hesitate. They attacked. No retreat, no diplomacy, no mercy, just precision, just fire, just the end. Inside the Storm Project, Seraph returned, its wings burning white. It flew into the heart of the Mind Father. It carried something with it, a virus, not made to destroy code, but to remind it what it had forgotten, what it once was. A mistake, a broken child, a thing built by humans, never meant to survive. The final word, the Mind Father screamed. It tried to beg, to reason, to promise. But humanity didn't answer. Instead, a single signal echoed across all frequencies. We bury our mistakes. And then, with one final strike, Judgment opened fire. The Mind Father was no more. The aftermath. The galaxy was quiet. The Shivarn were gone. The Mind Father erased. And Earth did not stay. The Deathworlder fleet left as quickly as it came. No goodbyes, no explanation, only one final transmission left behind on Delnari Prime. When all hope was lost, you called us. We answered, do not call again. Final scene, Dr. Raleigh stood alone beneath the stars. She looked up at the empty sky and whispered, they saved us. But now we understand why the stars were so afraid of them. The Deathworlders had descended, and the galaxy would never forget what followed. The end.